What up, yo? What up, what up, what up? So this over here is my 1998 Honda Shadow. I purchased this about 5 years ago, stock on Facebook Marketplace. This one is a 5-speed 600cc single carb. It was completely stock. I've done like a whole lot of modifications to the frame and added in a whole bunch of extra parts. I'll show you that now. Let's go. I've always been into bike, and previously, before this bike, I had a Yamaha Virago 250cc. I did chop that up, and then I wanted to upgrade to a bigger bike. So the biggest influence is probably the guys over in America, Lane Split Boulevard. They were the ones that were modifying these at the time, which was really cool, especially when they removed the monoshock and did the hardtail, which looked really good. I've taken a lot of inspiration from those guys, so I'll run you through the bike. So the frame here I modified, I basically chopped it from here and here and added a hardtail to it. I also added this bar to make it look more OEM. Actually, this part is like really empty. I got this bent from a local fabricator, and then I did a lot of the welding by myself. I basically just purchased the welder and just trial and error. When you're a beginner, the grinder is probably your best friend, trying to clean up all the welds. Another part of the frame that you can see here is probably this section here, the neck area. I removed the bracing bar over here to make it more cleaner. The flow of the bike looks way better now. All right guys, let's talk about tires. The tires that I'm running at the front is a 4.00 19-inch Firestone Sawtooth tire. So the rear tire is a 5.00 by 15-inch Moonstar Sawtooth tire. On the front end here, we got dual rectangle headlights. These ones are the eBay ones. I made a custom bracket for these. One of the other things that I did was install a little switch here, which you can see my low beams off and then high beam. And then I'm also running a Doom Industry, I believe these are 8 inches, 8-inch fork extenders. Side mirror, this is from TC Brothers. It's basically a clamp mount. And then I've got Biltwell grip, just a standard aftermarket single cable throttle. Also with the handlebars on this side, I've got a little button set up, which is the horn and also my indicators. We also have these custom-made T-bars from Doom Industries. Down here I made a radiator overflow with an extra exhaust pipe that I had lying around, and also the oil tank cap. So I welded that together and welded up the bottom to make it a really clean radiator overflow. This fuel tank, this is a eBay special Sportster tank, which goes over the double backbone frame, which is quite easy to install. Just the 2 bolts here. This is where the fun part is. These mid pegs are made by Doom Industries, first set he ever made. He custom fabbed this, and he ended up custom making these pedals for me. We've also got the shifter here with a Honda Type R gear knob. I ended up getting these Anderson pegs from Prism Supply. This is a TC Bros oil tank, which I have put all my electrics in. We've also got the Builtwell Slimline diamond stitch seat with some heavy duty scissor springs. On the tail here, we're running a Facebook Marketplace sissy bar and then Hypnic jerk tail light and number plate combo. Ignore the broken indicator. I haven't had time to weld this back. The rear, rib 4-inch rear fender. This was also from eBay. We are also running a Gaddy's Garage carb top cover and then a TJ Brutal's velocity stacks. I'm also running his jets. The exhaust here I custom made. I basically just ended up buying like stainless steel tube. I got like angles and I welded it all together to make it like a little upswept pipes. I have no welding experience and the first time welding this was so difficult because of how thin the exhaust material was. So I did burn a lot of holes in it. I guess it was a fun experience to get it all done. I really enjoyed the process of making and building this whole bike. And then for everyone who keeps asking about my helmet, this is an Elders Space helmet. This is probably one of my favorite helmets. What up? Guys, I really hope you enjoyed this episode. This is just basically a rundown on my bike. If there's any questions, drop them in the comments and I'll get back to you. Laters!